Hi family, Dr. Hooten here at Hooten Family Healing Center in Dallas, Texas. I'm excited. It's November 2018. If you're watching this video, you fall into one of two camps. You either A, feel pretty good, you feel like you're pretty healthy, or B, you feel like crap on some level. Maybe you just feel a little bit off, maybe you've got something seemingly minor like headaches, or you've got some type of diagnosis and you're taking medication and you just really feel terrible. Listen, if you're feeling pretty good, don't stop this video. I would say that probably you need to hear this the most. Now, obviously, if you're feeling terrible and you know something's wrong, I'm going to show you how to pull yourself out of that also. But for those of you that feel pretty good, you need to know that the top 3 diseases right now, really the top 4 diseases in this country, happen quietly. They happen to people who feel generally pretty good. Obviously, heart attacks and strokes happen to people that feel good. Cancer develops in people that feel good. Diabetes develops in people that feel good. And my personal all-time least favorite, Alzheimer's and dementia, happen quietly while you feel just fine. You see, feeling fine, I feel great. How you doing? I feel fine. That type of language, it scares me to death because I've seen in my family all those things happen. And most of you watching this, you've seen that in your family, if not definitely somebody that you know and your friends and even their family. Ignoring your health until something shows up is the biggest mistake that people make in this country. And like I said, if you've got some diagnosis, if you feel terrible, you need to learn how to pull yourself out of this. And the rules are the same for both of you, whether you feel fine or whether you feel like crap. The rules to getting healthy are the same. Obviously, we all need to eat better, and that's what I'm going to focus on this video. Is in November, we call this the weight loss month around here. Most people start putting on weight after Halloween, going into Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's, all the way to Valentine's Day, and you turn around and you put on 20 pounds or even 5 pounds. So we're going to focus on food. Before all that, though, you need to hear me. Your body, your metabolism, the way you digest food, the way you poop, the way you pee, the way that your hormones work, all depends on the health of your brain and spinal cord. That's where we come in. That's where my colleagues come in around the world. If you need help finding somebody to maximize your spinal health, the way your brain and your body communicate, reach out to us. We'll help you find somebody. If you're already under care here in the office in the North Texas area, make sure you're taking care of your spine on a daily basis. I cannot emphasize that enough. The system out there will have you believe this is the flu season. Well, last time I checked, we're going from fall into the winter. There's no flu season about it. Well, the reason they call it the flu season is because everybody seems to get sick. If you're taking care of your spine, obviously your immune system is going to be stronger. You will fight off things like, bad bugs like the flu and pneumonia and that type of thing way better than if you don't. So you should have a home routine that you're doing right before you go to bed, right when you wake up. And if you don't, make sure and see our team and we'll help you through that. Now let's get into the food. Obviously, you've heard this 1,000 times. Sugar, and sugar in all forms, not just the candy from Halloween. And I'm going to tell you what this does to you in a second. If you've got kids and they got candy for Halloween, you need to stay tuned so you understand what this is doing to them. Pasta, rice, tortillas, chips, whether they're potato chips or restaurant corn chips, cakes, pretzels, any type of carbohydrate that is processed like that, you might as well take packets of white sugar and pour it down your throat. That's what your body does to those things. Cereal, processed dairy products, pasteurized milk products, that all turns right into sugar in your body. Now, what does sugar do? Well, it does a cascade of things. In the short run, what it does is it will cause, it's so damaging to your cells that it causes inflammation throughout your body. You see, it's poisonous to your cells because it's so anti-nutritious, and your brain and your immune system will start trying to fix the damage through your immune system. And it literally will swell up everywhere, including your nerves. Your nervous tissue themselves will swell up inside of the sheath that's surrounding the nerve cells. Your brain will swell up, and what this inflammation does over time is it clogs everything up, builds up waste products, and you are asking for Alzheimer's. If you've been around the last few years and you've read anything about this, you know that Alzheimer's and dementia is being called type 3 diabetes. If you've seen anything like that, well, this is why, because it's such a long-term exposure to sugar. And you maybe you'll feel fine while you're eating this stuff. Maybe you've got a sweet tooth. Oh, Dr. Hooten, I know my sweet tooth is sugar, or my sweet tooth, you're going to tell me tortillas are bad? But I got to have my tamales, Dr. Hooten. No, you don't. You do not want Alzheimer's. I promise you, you do not want cancer, you don't want heart disease, and you certainly don't want diabetes either. I can't do this for you. Our team can't do this for you. You have got to get inspired and motivated. Maybe you need to scare yourself into eating properly. Think about your life if you're laying in a hospital bed because you never gave up sugar. Try that on. What does that do to your family? Do you have kids? Do you really want to put yourself or them in a position where they have to wipe you? Where they have to clean up after you? Where they're caring for you in your 60s and 70s? No, and I realize that is an awful thing to think about, but we've got to really face reality because look around, it's happening everywhere. Our nursing homes are filling up. The hospital beds are filling up. We have a guy under care here. He builds hospitals. He builds them everywhere. He's built most of the hospitals in the North Texas area. And he will tell you, they have to fill their beds up. The system is set up for you to fall apart and catch you, and then there you are, spending all your time and all your money because you didn't make a life-changing decision to cut sugar out and all processed carbohydrates. Now, I don't care what the system says. I don't care what people on the TV say that you can't cut out all sugar. Yes, you can. There's also this big, giant myth about your body has to have sugar to survive. Well, yes, but it doesn't have to have processed sugar. It doesn't have to have candy to survive. You understand? Your body is smart. Did you know? You are smart. Your body is outstanding. Your brain is so intelligent. It will take fats and convert that into sugar, into a different type of sugar. It'll convert proteins into sugar if you need it. You don't have to eat the crappy bread and the crappy cereal that everybody's trying to sell you on the TV. The waffles, the pancakes, all those things. That is a disaster on your system. Not only will it cause dementia, it also causes, obviously, things like diabetes. The inflammation starts building up everywhere in your body, including your arteries, and you'll start laying down plaque all over the place, and eventually one day you have a heart attack. You're like, how did this happen? Guys, yesterday, what got me on this rant, yesterday we had a gentleman in here who was a wonderful human being, loving family, and he looked at me and he says, Dr. Hooten, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What he was telling me was that he feels fine. And on his x-ray, his aorta, so we're looking at his spine, well, you can also see this giant artery that travels down your spine also. It's called your abdominal aorta. And in the aorta, in the blood vessel itself, it was completely plaqued. It was all white, full of calcium and plaques, so much so that you could see it on a spinal x-ray. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a disaster. And did you hear what I said? He felt fine. Well, that is a walking, ticking time bomb waiting to happen. You don't want that to happen to you. You certainly don't want it to happen to your family. The time to change is now, not tomorrow. Now. What you do today will echo tomorrow. It'll show up next week. It'll show up next year. What do you want life to be like 3 months from now, 5 months from now? How about 10 months from now? You know, when I'm 80, I want to be playing soccer with my great-grandkids. I want to be able to play tennis with my great-grandkids. I don't want to put my family in a position where they're having to care for me way too soon. That is just that appalls me. And if you really think of it on that level, I'm sure it does you too. I mean, how many of you want your family and your kids and your grandkids to have to take care of you because of the abuse you put your body through? Okay, so I realize this is a sort of a negative video. I don't like doing these. I'm typically a happy guy, but I got to be honest, the world is scaring me more and more. The amount of processed crap that is being sold to you and your children by people that don't care about anything except making money is outrageous. The amount of stuff that we're feeding our children is just insane. That is just, it's killing them. Now, the system, the medical system is hoping you do that because when you get sick from all this stuff, now you fall into their hands and they make all their money giving you drugs and surgeries and everything else, and you can prevent all of it. It's time to make a change. Do what you got to do to be inspired, to write things down. See, just be honest with yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. When you look at yourself in your eyeballs. That's the window to your soul. And if you stare at yourself long enough, some of you will get emotional doing this. I know I did the first time when I realized I needed to change a lot of things. I was staring myself in the face. I didn't want to put my wife and my kid into a situation where they're having to take care of me. And it was hard, but I'm glad we did, because a lot of things started changing when I was honest with myself and honest with my family. I hope you will too. This is Dr. Hooten signing off. Remember, drugs are bad, God is great, and so are you.